Hello, eBay Open. Well, it's so awesome to be here for our Seller Gen Z panel. I'm Lamont, and today we're going to talk to our Gen Z panel, who are eBay employees, about insights and their expectations, what they're looking for in a shopping experience. Here with me is Rachel.
Hi, sellers. I'm so thrilled to be joined by our Gen Z panelists today. I know for myself, being a member of the Gen Z demographic, I get a lot of questions about what I'm into, what I'm consuming. So I'm sure you all have a lot of insights to share. And I'm sure sellers, you all are very interested in hearing what our panelists have to say. We do know that Gen Z is our newest and youngest consumer base on our marketplace. So for today's conversation, we'll be breaking our questions into sort of two buckets, those being kind of culture and social. And so what I mean by that is culture, kind of what is Gen Z culture like? Where are they congregating for community? Where are they getting their news? What are they into? And then of course, social media. We know Gen Z loves to be on social media. So what are those platforms they're using and how are they using them? But before we get started, we'd love to get to know our panelists a little bit. So panelists, let's go down the line, just give a quick introduction for our sellers. Tell us your name, what you do here at eBay, where you went to school, and what was the last thing you bought on eBay?
Okay. Hi, eBay sellers. I'm Leah. I'm a product manager working on seller experience. And I recently finished my undergrad at Columbia University. And the last thing I bought on eBay is a coffee cup. Yeah.
Hey everybody, my name is Benedict. I'm a product manager in the identity field here at eBay. I did my undergrad at Texas Christian University and finished my master's at Mercer University. The last thing I bought on eBay was a PlayStation 5 controller.
Hi everyone, my name is Blaine. I am a social media and content specialist for the seller engagement team. I recently graduated with my master's from the University of Florida, and the last thing I bought on eBay was an iPhone case.
Wonderful. Well, Leah, Benedict, Blaine, thank you again so much for joining us. Let's just jump right into our first question. So for this one, I'd love to pose it to Leah first. Where do you get your news? Where are you finding the day-to-day updates that kind of inform what is trendy, what's in?
Definitely. I think there are three main channels I receive my news day to day. First is definitely a podcast. I'm a big podcast lover. I listen to a lot of podcasts in the morning when I'm commuting, come to work, or just get out of work or in the gym. Secondly, I do subscribe to a lot of specific newsletter or blog that be more narrowed down to the specific fields I'm interested in, for example, e-commerce, as I'm working at eBay. Lastly, it's probably more like word of mouth. I talk to my friends, the social circle, just sharing different news people are interested in. Yeah.
I love that. Benedict, looks like you wanted to add something.
Yeah, awesome. I check on social media all the time. Platforms such as X, TikTok, Instagram. They normally hit news hits the media there faster. And I find myself validating that news across, those push notifications from different news media outlets and so on and so forth. So.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Do you have any sort of accounts or places that you think sellers maybe should subscribe to get to know, what are those cultural moments that are coming up?
Absolutely. X is a big one because X will tell you everything from trending to news that's happening in real time. Instagram as well. Instagram just gives you a feel for who our generation, like what we're doing and kind of what we're leaning on or leaning towards from, anything from a style perspective to even just a collectible perspective as well. So. That's
awesome. So for my next question, we all know that Barbie recently came out and it was a huge hit. For me, I was super excited for Barbie to come out. What are some other kind of big cultural moments, big hits? These can be films, but also like holidays or just like shopping events that kind of drive you to the marketplace that our sellers should look out for. Blaine, why don't we start with you?
Something that I really look out for is when brands collaborate with other brands. Like for me, Lululemon and Mad Happy recently did a collaboration, and Mad Happy and Lululemon both happen to be one of my favorite brands, so I was super excited to see that. And unfortunately, I missed the market for that, so I'm looking for that now on the pre-loved market.
That's fantastic. Leah, what about you?
I will say movie and holiday is a big one for me, just because I was really feeling the holiday vibe every time there's a big break coming in, just a complete change of my lifestyle and what I do in the day-to-day. So holiday is definitely big for me, and also some of the movie I was just very into, or I think these two are the big things that really motivate me to shop.
Mm-hmm. Great. So I know, Blaine, you just mentioned influencer collabs, and I know, Benedict, before cameras turned on, we were chatting about this backstage a little bit. But we know, influencers are really big on doing collabs with brands these days. Is there anything that really, any collabs recently or anything that creates kind of a shopping moment for you where you're like, I have to kind of jump on this and get something from this collab?
Absolutely. I would say big sports events. The Earl Spence Terrence Crawford fight. It kind of got me inspired to get a pair of boxing gloves. Have my little moment and think I was a boxer again, or any big sports events like football. I remember when Jordan first announced they were partnering up with Oklahoma and Florida as well. And immediately I thought, because I was a college athlete, I played college football at TCU, and I just remember like, hey, they've won everybody's buy-in from the East Coast because we love Jordan. We're always, wearing Jordan jumpsuits or Jordan sneakers or anything. So whenever that collab came about and, the color combo was it was phenomenal. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience, honestly, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, and tell me about the Jordans. Did you get them on eBay? Tell me about these Jordans.
Yeah, so even recently, I just got myself a pair of University Blues. I was so excited they first dropped. I couldn't get it on the Nike app, and I was looking for a reseller. And I'm size 14, so I get good luck with those. It might as well run out too quick. But whenever I was on the Nike app and it didn't drop in time, and I saw that I didn't get it, went straight on the platform, ended up getting them. So it was really, yeah, honestly, I really loved that experience overall.
For sure. And Blaine, of course, you had mentioned influencers before. Anything you'd like to add here?
One thing that I was really excited for is when I saw one of my favorite influencers, she posted that she got the Sporty and Rich times Adidas like Samba collab. And I've been wanting Sambas for a while, but there wasn't like that perfect color combo. Unfortunately, I missed out on, again, getting them live. So I had to go back on and try to find them within my budget. But I would say like, influencers really persuade me to purchase a lot of my items.
Awesome. So this next question is something that I think is on a lot of folks' mind, the economy. We know that's sort of a concern, especially for younger people like us who, are fresh out of college. So we're thinking about things like rent, student loans. Is that something that you're considerate of when you're looking to buy things on eBay or other marketplaces? Like, are you willing to buy secondhand fashion or dupes? Leah, let's start with you.
Yeah, I think as a college grad, I'm definitely thinking about like economic necessity or like a balance in between, but I'm also willing to invest in sometimes, especially if it's like something I really want, how much I want, like it really depends on how much I really want to invest in terms of that item. So I think it's more of a balance, but economic factors definitely something will come in as a college grad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will absolutely say, the dupes, that was my big thing in college. Fake it till you make it. We're all in college, I'm not going to walk around with, a pair of Gucci slides or anything, but I will wear, a pair of dupes until I, find myself in a position where I can buy those. So I'll definitely say, the dupes were a big thing for me because from an economic standpoint, it's tough as a college student. You don't have, oftentimes you don't have, consistent income coming in. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And Blaine, same question, but would also love to know kind of are your choices driven by like what we've mentioned earlier, price and value? Leah mentioned that she's willing to kind of invest a little bit more to get that perfect, unique thing. What are your thoughts there?
It's kind of like what Leah said, like investing in the right items, because at the end of the day, like it's not sustainable to like purchase the same item over and over. So for me, like if it's an item that I'll use daily, I'll invest in it. Like I work out a lot, and like I have a pair of Lululemon shorts that I've had for 5 years, versus like buying a cheaper alternative and like reusing it over and over and like purchasing it over and over.
I love that. And last question before we jump into social a little bit more, but kind of one word or one phrase answer here. What are some brands that our sellers should keep an eye out for that are kind of up and coming among yourself and your friends? Leah, let's start with you.
There are two brands that come to me. One is Aloe. They are like friendly with like gym workout suits, but also a little bit fashionable on the other end. Second of all is like Reformation. I really love their dresses that can fit into like a working mode or even sometimes like just traveling. So different styles really blending in together. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Yeah, for me, I would say Essentials, the Fear of God brand. It's, I've seen a lot of those jumpers kind of being worn around. So I would say definitely keep a eye on that because it's a big brand amongst where I'm at, especially.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me, two brands I'm really loving right now is a Goldie. They make my favorite like denim. And then there's another brand that I recently discovered. I'm not too sure how to pronounce the name of it, but it's OAS. However you think that may be pronounced. I don't want to try. So that's been one of my favorite brands recently. Yeah.
Very cool. I'll have to check all of these out. Well, we've talked a lot about culture.
Yeah.
Lamont, I'd love to turn it over to you to chat a little bit more about social media.
Yeah, because socials come up in this conversation. We were talking about influencers and just ways that you guys get news and whatnot. But now we're going to click down a little bit more to talk more about social in the sense of what social media people you're following or what sellers you're following that are doing these collabs. And if I'm a seller on eBay, how can I promote my brand to you, promote what I'm selling to you to get you to be interested in my store?
Honestly, I would say whenever I'm on the platform, I'm always looking to find a way to see what type of inventory they have, whether it's on platform, whether that's on social media. So I would say a big thing for sellers whenever I'm looking for a product is just seeing a way they can show their inventory in a creative way, if it's on Instagram or if it's on TikTok, because it helps me envision kind of what I'm going to be wearing. So I definitely really appreciate when sellers do things like that.
Very good. And Leah, same question.
Yeah, I think one thing that Benedict brought up really good is like show, don't tell. Like show the thing, like show the image quality, show how this thing can be used in different functions. I think that really definitely catch my eyes and help me to understand a little bit more like, oh, this is a thing I should invest in or like target some of my pain points in the day. Yeah.
Nice. And Blaine, same question to you.
It's kind of like what they said, so like the authenticity behind it, like showing me what the product does, how it works, and even like highlighting some of the flaws with it, because I feel like that shows like the viewer like, okay, this is the item, it's not perfect, but this is what it'll do for you. So it kind of makes it more real and like encourages me to buy it more.
Okay. And then Benedict, you were kind of talking about showing like yourself on Instagram or on TikTok. Sellers can kind of promote their brands a little bit more, what they're selling. What type of content on these platforms that you're seeing that are really kind of sparking your attention and also helping you know that you can trust that seller? Because Blaine, you mentioned authenticity, so you can jump in there too, and either of you can take that.
Yeah, honestly, I would say if it looks, because I'm a bigger guy, so if I see it on individuals that are, kind of close to me in size, I'm like, okay, this is what I look like in this, or the closest thing I would look like in this outfit, essentially. So I really do look for things along that line. But yeah, that's pretty much how I'd view it, honestly.
Okay, and Blaine, you were talking about authenticity, so if you want to take us down that path a little bit more.
So kind of just like making the content feel real and not so staged, like they're doing it for like a promotion or like a check or anything.
Okay.
Kind of just like, this is the product I actually use it in my day to day, and I'm not just doing it because it's like a brand deal or something.
Okay.
So kind of just building that trust with us.
Do you mean like, and when you say like it's not staged, just to clarify it, so does that mean like they can just upload any kind of picture?
Correct. So it's not like you don't have like perfect lighting, a perfect setup. It's just like, it's in your apartment, it's in your kitchen. It's not like a fully orchestrated like backdrop and everything.
Yeah, Rachel, that's such a new take on how, we kind of frame in our mind of like what we want to look like when we're on camera, right? We always want to make sure we look perfect. But here, Blaine, you're saying it doesn't matter. It's just kind of about how you present yourself.
Like show your personality, be yourself.
Yeah.
And it's realistic,
No,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Sorry to interrupt. Do you think that seeing that sort of content from sellers makes you more likely to recommend them to like a friend or a coworker, just to say like, hey, I saw this person on Instagram and they're selling this thing and it felt really authentic, you should check them out?
I think so. It's like you trust them at the end of the day then.
Yeah. No, it's really good. Okay, now we're gonna move on from social. We're gonna talk a little bit more about emerging technology, right? So what's hot right now? We're hearing a lot about AI, augmented reality, VR, the metaverse, okay? So thinking along those lines, like how can our sellers reach you with these technologies? Are these technologies something that you're even interested in and when you're thinking about shopping?
I'll say, being a partially proclaimed sneakerhead, I remember using an application that I could scan my feet and it would show me what the shoes look like on the bottoms of my feet. So that was a really helpful thing, and again, helping me kind of imagine what those shoes would look like with a specific outfit. So I would say that, yeah, technology like that, it really helps me engage with the product and the listing. So things along the lines of that are pretty helpful, honestly.
And you, Blaine, you gonna go shopping in the metaverse anytime soon?
I would consider it.
Okay.
I haven't used AI too much, kind of like what you were saying, Benedict, like using it to see items in real life. Like I know like Wayfair has it where you can see like a dresser in front of you. I would say that has been like my extent of AI use, but I'm excited to see ways that like we can use it with shopping, like you were saying, for like clothes and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with those AR and VR technologies, it's really something new.
Leah, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think comes same to the what Blaine talked about, like especially for furniture items, like view in 3Ds or something, it will just really help me to envision how that will be like put into my room or into my house. But I think that's it for my tech.
Wonderful. Wow. Well, this has been such an engaging and insightful conversation, right, Rachel?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I've learned so much. I wish we could sit here for another hour or two and keep chatting, but
Right.
I know we're running short on time.
Right. But we do want to say thank you so much for being here, and thank you everyone out in the virtual world who are watching us online. We appreciate you taking the time, sellers, to learn more about our Gen Z panel here. And if you are interested in hearing more about Gen Z, we do have a presentation tomorrow that's being put on by my colleague Effie Harlan. It's called How to Win with Gen Z. And so check that out tomorrow. And I think that will be all for us. I think we did it here, amen?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, sellers, have a great eBay Open, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye, everyone.